How's 2019 treating you so far?
Oh my God, this is the best night of my life. Best night of my life. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a dream come true. It's all happening so fast. Like 2019, yeah, I'm in the UFC. Just got my first UFC win and looking forward to the next one.
Talk about, I mean, we hear about the pressure, the emotions, you know, that come along with the debut. Give us an idea what the feeling was like going in there tonight.
I was more nervous than usual. You know, I'm notoriously not nervous for my fights. You know, I deal with the nerves and I can stay calm. I still feel like I stayed pretty calm, just not as usual. Well, out there in the octagon, I was pretty calm, but in the back, I was a little more nervous than usual. But yeah, I wrapped it up, got it together when it was time, when it was showtime, and yeah, I was pretty calm out there.
As far as the performance itself, I mean, a scrappy guy that you're in there with tonight, right? I mean, how did you feel the fight played out?
That dude is tough. He has a hard head. I banged my hand up early in the first round. Yeah, now that it's over, you know, I'm extremely happy I got the win, but a little disappointed that I didn't get to finish because it was there. You know, I seen him wobble a few times, and I said before in my interview prior to this that was my goal, to be the first guy to finish him, and I was so close to doing that. But yeah, I'm just ecstatic I got the win. I'm looking forward to putting on an even better performance next time.
So you broke your left hand?
I thought it was broken, like a broken knuckle or something, but I got to get an X-ray, but it's just banged up right now. It feels a lot better, like now that I'm sitting here just with it like this. But every time I would connect on his head with him, I'm like, ooh, I can't do that too many more times. I just was feeling it whenever I would land on him. I think it's just my knuckle. My hand's not broken though.
You won in the Contender Series to get your contract, but you were a mainstay in Shamrock FC, which is one of those promotions that's continuing to do shows, like, it seems like every month. How much did that help prepare you for this moment? Just because I know it's a big part of the scene out in the Midwest.
Shamrock didn't help me at all. I've been fighting for all my life, man. When I was 8 years old, I had my first boxing match. I'm accustomed to fighting. You know, I'm a fighter through and through. Even though this is my UFC debut, I've been in there a million times over and over again in my head, man. It felt just like home out there.
Okay. Then follow up to that. Then, how much do you feel like then being on Contender Series? Because we hear the silence and all that, and going in the octagon in front of Dana White. How much did that help?
That helped me a lot. You know, Contender Series, even though there's some small differences in there, it was pretty similar to that. So I'm really glad that I went on the Contender Series before coming out here, because I got a feel for the octagon and a feel for having Dana White there and all of this and stuff like that. So yeah, the Contender Series definitely helped prepare me for this moment.
I know heading into this fight, it was the first time you had trained with Glory MMA. Obviously, you had James Krause in your corner, having a good time with you. How much, did his experience help you in this fight? How much room did you grow once you got to Glory MMA and started training with those guys?
Oh yeah, 100%. Just being around a guy who has that, much experience doing this and a veteran in the game, it helped me out, tremendously. Not just the stuff, he showed me on the mat and stuff like that. The talks after, the advice, all that stuff. Him, Grant Dawson, those guys out in Glory, they're great. They both, been here before, and yeah, I'm really glad that I went out there and met those guys.
And I think this is a question that we've all asked each other at some point. We're all hanging out. How do you get to 145?
It's a process. It's a tough process. It's something that, even though I did do it on a week's notice, I'll never do that again. But yeah, it's something it's very hard to do on short notice. I need at least 4 to 6 weeks to make the weight. I used to be really fat. I used to be like 220 something pounds. So I got a lot on me to lose. After my fights, I walk around about 175, and it's just there for me to lose. I don't have, I'm not a really muscular guy. So whenever it's time to get on that diet and cut the weight, it comes off fairly easy.
How long ago were you that heavy? The 220?
I was 220 fresh out of high school. I'm 27 now, so I was 220 from about 18 years old to, I'd say, 24. Yeah, I was 220 for a good little time, good little period.
So if people haven't seen you since then, would they recognize you now?
Yeah, it wasn't too much of a, I'm a tall guy, so 220, I wasn't like, super round or anything. I was just extra chubby, I'd say.
Sean, you have a very unique style of striking. You said you were nervous, but you kind of keep your hands low, you're very elusive, and you use a lot of vision.
Mm-hmm.
Is this style of striking, is that like a new thing we should see in MMA, where you kind of loose and...
Yeah, I've been boxing all my life. I'm a boxer first. I was 46-3 as an amateur in boxing, and I believe Ali said it. I believe I just got a radar built in my head, man, to avoid punches. I can bob and weave with the best of them, and I can hold my hands down like that. It looks, risky and dangerous, but I got a super long reach, and I know when to tighten up and protect myself and get them up. And yeah, I'm really confident that I can see everything coming.
Does that style help you keep a high output, that you're not tensing all the time?
Yeah, like I'm not a one-shot knockout guy, but I can strike all night long. I'm a volume puncher, I can hit guys over and over again, and I'm really good at using my reach. There's a lot of long people that don't know how to use their reach, but I definitely know how to use mine.
Your last fight, you headed into it as a very big underdog. You won in very spectacular fashion. You even closed this fight as a slightly underdog.
Yeah.
You're undefeated. Why are people counting you up?
Don't know, but I love it, man. If I tell my guys all the time, I dread the day that I become the favorite. And I know since I'm undefeated and that I keep winning fights, that day's gonna come where I'm expected to win. But if I could have it my way, I'd forever remain the underdog.
Brendan Allen came off of this season of the Contender Series. He said right here that he's the best talent to come out of the Contender Series. Do you think you are the best?
He can have that, man. I don't really care about that. I'm just. Is he undefeated?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, he's lost 3 times. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'm just focused on staying undefeated and keep winning fights, man. I'll leave it up to you guys to say all that.
When are you looking to get back in there? I know this is a fresh win, but I'm sure you have an idea of when you want to get back.
Yeah. Well, I'm on like a 3-week suspension because of my hand, which ain't nothing. But yeah, I want to get back in there January, February. I'm not too good with my months, but that's like 3 months, right? 3-4 months from now. Yeah. I want to stay active. I want to fight every 3 to 4 months. 3 months if I could have it
Any
my way.
opponents in mind?
Any opponents? Yeah, I knew I was gonna get that question. So Steven Ocho Peterson. I just recently watched him.
Yeah.
Seen him get that spinning knockout. He's an exciting guy. He comes forward just like Kyle does. Those are the guys that I want to fight. I want to fight exciting guys who come to fight.
You head into Kyle's hometown. This went to a decision. I mean, it was pretty clear that you won. That said, before the fight, were you worried that if it's a close decision that he's automatically gonna get it in Boston?
Yeah, I was worried if it was. Yeah, that's why I said my goal is to finish this guy. I knew, I've seen some shaky decisions lately in hometowns, and I knew that if it was a somewhat close fight and went to a decision, that I could be in some trouble. But by the end of this fight, I didn't feel like that was close at all. I was confident I won.
I know you were expecting him to wrestle. Were you expecting 13 takedowns and that type of pressure from him?
He shot for 13 takedowns.
13 takedowns.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised about that at all. Every time they put a camera in his face, he was saying nothing but, stand and bang. I'm gonna throw combos. He never mentioned anything about wrestling. But I'm not stupid. I knew that he was gonna come to wrestle, even though he didn't mention it.
You've got this really easygoing demeanor. Where does that come from that you can jump into the mouth of the lion, as they say, in something like this? You look like you're just pretty much another day, like you're almost what they say about Fedor, standing in line waiting for a bird or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure that comes with fighting alone. So, and on top of that, there's, a lot of things you can add on to it to add more pressure. Dana's watching, the lights are on me, this and that. I don't focus on anything but what matters, and that's just the fight itself and my opponent. I have a really good job at using tunnel vision, I guess you would call it. And yeah, I just only focus on what matters, and that's the fight itself. When we get, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna get in there with another guy, and it's just like sparring in the gym. We're just gonna fight. It's a fight at the end of the day, and that's all I focus on.
Is that where that tattoo comes from on your throat?
Yeah, I got this a long time ago when I got this when I was about 15 years old.
You got that at 15?
Yeah, my mom wanted to kill me. It was when I was amateur boxing, fighting every week and stuff, and I'd come across guys sometimes and, be a little intimidated by them more than, past opponents or something. Then I'd get in there and whoop them and be like, oh, that guy was no different than that guy. Why was I scared of him? And I just finally, it was a thing I had to overcome where I was just like, I'm not scared of anybody. At the end of the day, they're the same as me. They're nothing special. They don't got no superpowers or nothing. So, yeah.
So what tattoo artist put that on a 15-year-old?
A guy that I'm sure would have gotten in a lot of trouble at the time. Yeah. My first tattoo was my dad's name right here, Jesse. And my mom actually signed for this one. But I tricked her into, on the paperwork, there's a little box you could check off, and it said, is this signature just for this tattoo, or is this permission for any tattoo? So I tricked her into signing to where I could come back by myself without her and get whatever tattoo I wanted. So she signed for this one, and then I was going back every weekend getting my own
stuff.
stuff.
Did you hide that for a while?
I wish I could have. I mean, I would have been having to wear turtlenecks, but yeah, no, I didn't know. I came home. She didn't believe me at first. I came home, she saw it, and yeah, she kind of like just laughed it off. I was like, boy, wash that off your neck or get that off your neck. And I was like, yeah, okay. And woke up the next morning and it was still there. And I was like, no, I'm like, yeah, mom, this is real. It's real. But she didn't really even get too mad about it because she knew from early on that this is what I was going to do with my life, and I wasn't interested in working a 9 to 5 at all.
to the doctor.
Two quick questions.
Yes, sir.
You said about having your hands up a lot, knowing when to cover up, when to lean back. Was fighting a shorter fighter part of that because you have such a high reach for this division?
You're saying it?
So
Did I have my?
fighting a shorter fighter?
Yeah.
You knew how to keep your hands
Yeah.
on to stay away from the punches.
Oh, I fight.
Part of it?
That's just how I fight. I fight everybody like that. You know, in
Other
the gym.
tall fighters?
Yeah, even in the gym, if I'm sparring against tall guys, yeah, I hold my hands down. I don't hold my hands down the entire time. You know, I'm just good with my range and good with my distance. Yeah, like when I went out to Glory and was sparring with James Krause, he had me holding my damn hands up. You know, I couldn't do that with guys like him. But yeah, it's just the way I fight.
And the second question was earlier on when someone brought up Shamrock FC, your corner fell over in laughter. Was there some issues leaving and moving on from Shamrock?
No, there were no issues. I believe the question I was asked was, did Shamrock help prepare me for this moment? And yeah, no, they didn't.
Okay.
How do you rate your performance, and what do you think you could improve off of what you did tonight?
Fighting helped me for this moment. You know, I fought for Shamrock, so I mean, but yeah, fighting helped me with this moment. I'm sorry.
No problem. How do you feel about your performance tonight? How would you rate it if you could give it a grade, and what do you think you can improve on for next time?
I would rate this performance probably a B+. What I can improve on is just going in for the kill when I got the guy hurt. Like I said, I wobbled him a bunch of times. I felt the power though. You know, he cracked me in the side of the head a couple of times. I felt his power on my shoulders when he was hitting me. So yeah, I was being weary of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going in there and getting the finish next fight.